Joining me now from Brussels to get some more analysis on all of this is Maurizio Geri. He's a former analyst on peace, security and defense at the Nato Allied Command Transformation in the US. Maurizio, good to have you on this news hour. There are now great fears that Wagner is just going to regroup in Belarus with Yevgeny Prighozhin. Do you agree with those who say these mercenaries are a threat to NATO's eastern flank and that NATO should be beefing up that eastern flank?
Well, let's say, as the Secretary General said, we are ready to defend our eastern flank because it's been already reinforced recently. The point of the matter is that Mr. Putin, we can say, he killed three birds with one stone, in the sense that he put out Prigozhin from the military command in Russia. He made sure that Belarus is under his decisions, because Belarus is already a country where the tactical nuclear weapons are being delivered and probably will be positioned in a few days for the first time after the end of the Soviet Union. And the third thing is that now Wagner is present in Belarus. It could also create a new attempt of attacking Ukraine from the north.
And Maurizio, there are media reports in the US that a top Russian general, Sergei Surovkin, knew that Prigozhin was planning a rebellion and possibly helped him. Now, if that is actually true, this may have President Putin scrambling to save face in what's surely been seen by many in Russia itself as a weakening of a man who has had control of Russia for 20 years.
Well, I'm not sure there is a weakening of the man that controlled Russia for 20 years, because the fact of the matter is that these unlawful combatants, these mercenaries, the Wagner, is not active only in intrastate conflicts like in Africa, but is increasingly acting in interstate conflicts. Because in Ukraine, let's not forget that in 2014, the invasion of Ukraine started with the little green mines, with the irregular warfare. And the PMC, the private military companies like Wagner, are increasingly using their unlawful combatant status, because let's remember they are outside of Geneva Convention, to attack other countries, in particular Ukraine, as I said, from the east, but now probably also from the north, without respecting the law of the war. So this is something that can be worried not only for NATO, but for all the world, and we have to think about that increasingly more. And as I said, Putin, it seems to me that he killed three birds with one stone, because it seems that with the nuclear threat coming from the north, like it was coming from the east in the past, and the irregular warfare coming from the north, is using his typical strategy of attacking the neighboring countries. And let's not forget also that Belarus is not far from the Kaliningrad, enclave oblast, which is on the Baltic, and keep moving nuclear weapons and irregular warfare mercenaries to Belarus is not something that can be considered something that is weakening Putin, but is reinforcing his attempts of illegal wars against Ukraine and the West in general.
Maurizio Geri, really appreciate your analysis live to us there from Brussels. Thanks, Maurizio.